you go to school, you acquire knowledge. Now, this knowledge will help you as an individual to live better in the society. It gives you the capacity to live a better life. So ordinarily, somebody who goes to school is expected that he will be able to survive better than somebody who did not go to school. That is one importance of education. It helps the individual to be a better person based on the fact that he has acquired knowledge and information that will help him to navigate life better than those who don't have those information. You also know that information is power. Now, it also helps the individual to live better with other people in the society. So if you go to school, when you are in the school, you interact with a lot of people. Interact with friends, you interact with enemies, you quarrel, you fight sometimes, a lot of issues. That is a part of the training. So when you come out from school, you are now a better person. You mix better with other people. So your social life is enhanced. You become a better person. So when you go to somewhere, you will know how to behave and how to interact with others. So socially, it helps and enhances your social life. Then it also gives you the capacity to make money. So if you go to school, you can get a job, and then the people that employ you will pay you. Through that way, you can make money. Or you can also set up your own investments or business and also make money for the society, for yourself and the society. Now, when you are so enhanced, you have acquired knowledge, your social life has improved, economically you are better. Now, the impact of the education is expected that it should touch your society. If the education does not touch your society, then it is not complete. That is why when you go to the university, sorry, I didn't recognize our graduates. Graduates are low. Thank you very much. Now, when you are impacted with this knowledge and the information, it is expected that the information and whatever knowledge you have acquired should impact on the society where you belong to. If it does not affect the society, then it is not complete. That is why whenever you want to graduate in the school, they will say you are awarded this degree both in learning and in character. That is why that language comes in there. Now, I didn't come to bore you with a lot of grammar. We just want to look at examples in the society of people who know that have gone to school and the impact they have brought to society. Now, when we were small, like I down with Toberu, I then remember Chief Melford Okilu, His Excellency. I don't know about anything Edaba, Chief Ige Edaba. These were people that were educated as their time. As at that time, education was very rare. It's only a few people that went to school. So we have a better life. So ordinarily, somebody who goes to school is expected that he will be able to survive better than somebody who did not go to school. That is one importance of education. It helps the individual to be a better person based on the fact that he has acquired knowledge and information that will help him to navigate life better than those who don't have those information. You also know that information is power. Now, it also helps the individual to live better with other people in the society. So if you go to school, when you are in the school, you interact with a lot of people. Interact with friends, you interact with enemies, you quarrel, you fight sometimes, a lot of issues. That is a part of the training. So when you come out from school, you are now a better person. You mix better with other people. So your social life is enhanced. You become a better person. So when you go to somewhere, you will know how to behave and how to interact with others. So socially, it helps and enhances your social life. Then it also gives you the capacity to make money. So if you go to school, you can get a job, and then the people that employ you will pay you. Through that way, you can make money. Or you can also set up your own investments or business and also make money for the society, for yourself and the society. Now, when you are so enhanced, you have acquired knowledge, your social life has improved, economically you are better. Now, the impact of the education is expected that it should touch your society. If the education does not touch your society, then it is not complete. That is why when you go to the university, sorry, I didn't recognize our graduates. Graduates are low. Thank you very much. Now, when you are impacted with this knowledge and the information, it is expected that the information and whatever knowledge you have acquired should impact on the society where you belong to. If it does not affect the society, then it is not complete. That is why whenever you want to graduate in the school, they will say you are awarded this degree both in learning and in character. That is why that language comes in there. Now, I didn't come to bore you with a lot of grammar. We just want to look at examples in the society of people who know that have gone to school and the impact they have brought to society. Now, when we were small, like I down with Toberu, but then you remember Chief Melford Okilu, His Excellency. I don't remember anything Edaba, Chief Ige Edaba. These were people that were educated as their time. As at that time, education was very rare. It's only a few people that went to school. So we are blessed in this community to have people like His Excellency, late Chief Senator Melford Okilo, and then Chief B.A. Gayadaba. These were the first set of people we saw as educated people. Now, the impact that these people created in this community, even the children, those who didn't see them, will still remember that there were people like this. Why they were able to create the kind of impact they created in this community is because they went to school. If they didn't go to school, it wouldn't have been possible for them to create the kind of impact they created. Even till today, we are still enjoying the impact that they have created in this society. That is how beneficial education is. And now, after the set of Melford Okilo and Ige Edaba, we have the Eknisans and then Felicia. Felicia Edaba was the first pharmacist as at that time in Rivers State, the first female pharmacist in Rivers State. Eknisan was an agric engineer. All these people were educated. And their impact in this community is also there. Because they did not just create impact in this society alone, they created impact in the former O River State and then in Bayelsa. After the Eknisans and Felicia, we have the Dr. Okilu, we have Margaret, we have the Amarobes, we have the Robinson. This was the other set that followed Ekenesam and Felicia. Then after them is our set. Dandy was a junior to that set, but he followed that set, the set of Dr. Kilo and Marobe, late Marobe, and Margaret. That was the set that follows him. Then it was our set. All of us, we went to school. Now, the importance of why we are analyzing all these things is for us to understand that Emakalakala is in between two big communities. Akipla is on the other side, and Opume is on this other side. Now, we are not blessed. We are not blessed with natural resources like these other communities. So we don't have so much land and land resources like Akipla. We do not also have river and river resources like these two other communities. So we are narrowed down to how do we survive in an environment where the river is so limited. By the time you move a little, it's already Akipla. When you go to the land, when you move a little, it's Opume. The other side is Akipla. So we are confined. The natural resources that we are supposed to live on, as the other communities are living on, are not there. And that is why our early fathers embrace education. Because the only way to survive in this kind of an environment is to go to school. Because if you are in Akipla, you have a lot of land and river resources that you can easily access, harness them, and use them to take care of your family and your children. But here, we don't have those resources. If you go to a lot of land resources, they have border with Okoroba, so you can see a lot of vast land resources. But we are not blessed with those resources. So the only way for us to survive is to go to school. Another community that is similar to the Emakalakala community in Obia is Emeya. And if you go to Emeya today, the way they survive, they are either traders or they also go to school. And that is why it is essential that if you are a child or a son or a daughter in this community, you should know that we are not blessed like the other communities. And therefore, you have to look for a way to go to school so that you will be able to survive. That is why we have built the culture of education. After our set, that is myself, Igoro, Igedaba, Ebenezer Ikoro, Auditor Ikoro, and some other persons along our line, Dr. David Okilo, Philip Isaiah. That was our set. When we come back from holidays, we play all manner of games. We dance, we party, but immediately the schools are on session, we disappear. We go back to school. At a time when we come and we are partying, people will even say that this was the end of the school. That we know what we are doing. Because we know that we cannot come here. If you stay in this community, and if care is not taken, to eat is also a problem. Some of us, when you come holiday, we look for how to survive. So going to school was no difference, because just like as you are struggling to survive in the village, you go there, you struggle also to survive. When we were in school, things were tough. We went to school with other communities, and all of us were there. But because of the difficulties of going through education, like I know some people from Akipla, some boys, they withdrew. Because if you go to places like Akipla, so in the regular school at Akbar, so some of them left, they couldn't endure. And today, they are in the village. But those of us who are from Emakalakala, we know that we have no other alternative. Because if you come here to the fishes and the resources are not there. So we endured. And today, all of us, every one of us, is somewhere surviving. And then today, you have had another opportunity for me to also come and talk to you. This is part of the benefit of the education. Because if I didn't go to school, I wouldn't have been here talking to you. So when you go to school, you acquire the knowledge, and then you use the knowledge to impact society, where you come from. And that is why we are here today. Now, that is how the culture have come down, from the Okilos and the Dabas, to the Ecclesiams and Felicia, to Dr. Okilo and their set, to our set. And then we now hand over to Anthony, their set, Dr. Dandy, and Sarah, and all that. And they too have handed over to another set of generation. I think the last time we were organizing a ceremony like this, I think almost 100 and something graduates that we have in this community. Today we are here again to celebrate another set of our graduates. Please, can you put your hands together for our graduates? They are the reason why we are here today. Now, in those days, even in our time, in those days when education was education, when people like at the time when Kenisam and Felicia, they came out from school, that was the time as you are coming out from school, companies are already looking for you. Government is looking for who that are coming out as graduates that they will employ. So they will employ you, give you a flat, and possibly give you a car. That was the time education was education. When it comes to our turn, it was no longer as it were. Those that were ahead of us, Macbeth, Dr. Okilo, and all of them, they also enjoy some part of that goodness. But as time goes on, the goodness begins to dry. So in our time, it came to a point where when you come back, you will look for a job, and if the job is not there, you take teaching appointment and start with the teaching appointment, and then later you can now migrate to where you want to go. But today we have come to a point where the jobs are no longer there. Even the teaching jobs are no longer there. And we are turning out graduates on an annual basis. A lot of people are graduating from the universities. And people are even wondering, because after graduation, 4 or 5 years, you are still in the house. It's like you didn't even go to school. So it has become a challenge. Some people are even wondering, what is the reason of going to school? To bother yourself for 4 or 5 years, struggle and graduate, and then when you come back, there are no jobs. And the government alone cannot also employ the amount of graduates that are coming out from the schools. So now, what is the way forward? Do we stop to go to school, or what else can we do? Now, it is good to understand that even though the government jobs are no longer there, the school has equipped you, has given you enough information and knowledge to enable you survive in the society. The only problem we have is that we are still thinking the way it used to be. When we graduated, we were looking at it that the companies will come and look for us the way they were looking for the earlier graduates. And the companies didn't come. So we decided to take any opportunity that comes. So we went to teaching. Now the teaching jobs are also no longer there. So I think it is time to begin to think in a different direction. Now, if you are a graduate, those of you that are receiving your appreciation from the community that are seated today, you need to understand that there are no longer jobs. But you know that the school has equipped you, has given you enough information and knowledge to enable you survive. Now, before this time, we used to understand that we know that it was like that. That those who go into skill acquisition, people that are mechanics, people that were tailors, people that were plumbers, people that were painters and all that, were people that do not go to school. Most of them do not go to school. So those jobs, those technical jobs were set aside for people who do not go to school. So they are the people who either through mentorship were able to acquire these skills. And we are the people that are maintaining our cars and everything that we use today. Now you need to understand that the world has evolved. The kind of cars that are coming out these days. The other day I saw David bought one car for his wife. To service that car alone, maybe if you say 1 million, it's even small, just to service the car. Because of the kind of sophisticated cars that are coming out from the advancement of technology. Now we need to understand that the old people, those unlearned skilled people that used to repair our cars, the old cars we used to use, are no longer meeting up this technology. The sophistication of the cars, they are not meeting up. So there is a job gap there. Because somebody who went and learned how to repair a car with that use the gear to control, and today we are using automatic gear. Those are the kind of people that are still maintaining the cars we see today. And most of the times, people are complaining when they take their cars to the mechanics, they don't give them the required services. Because the capacity of these technicians no longer meet up the demand of society. The other day, I took my car. The AC that came with it packed up. So I went to a mechanic and said, please, I want to fix my AC. And then he now assessed the AC and said it's 200,000. That he will use 180,000 to buy spare parts. Then his workmanship is 20,000. So I dropped the 180,000 to enable him buy the things that he's going to use. Then after 2 days, he said he has fixed it. I entered the car, I tested it, it was working. So I took it to pay him the balance and I took it to. After 5 days, the AC has packed up. What happens? Hey, say, bring them. I took it back there, they fixed it. I brought it back after 1 day, it has packed up again. Now you can now understand, and it's not only me that is experiencing that, a lot of people are complaining. So you find out that people who can fix car ACs in places like Yinaba are very few. And most of the times, a lot of people are falling into the hands of these quacks. We call them quacks because they cannot fix the kind of cars that we drive today. And the gap will continue to increase because every day sophisticated cars are coming out. both the electrical parts and the mechanical parts. And this group of technicians cannot meet up the sophistication. That is a gap for people who study engineering. Is it agric engineering? Is it mechanical engineering? Whatever engineering that you have studied in school, it is good for you to acquire the practical skills and set up workshops that will meet the services of this group of Nigerians. Because every day, new cars are coming in, and with different gears and sophistication. So there is a job gap there. So don't just look at your certificate. Look at a gap that you can fill. And as I am telling you, the gap will continue to increase because the society is evolving very fast. So the old cars, the cars we drive 5 years ago are no longer the cars we are driving today. And that gap will continue to increase. It's a place where you can find jobs. A lot of these people, even the quacks, are living well. Now imagine that if you will service a car and you tell them, like the one the one I see that David bought for his wife, Choma, that car to service it alone may be 1 million. And if to service one car is 1 million, and maybe you service 3 in a month, you are talking about 3 million. There are other smaller ones that you can service. So it will enable you to live well. The essence, one of the importance we are saying as you go to school is to ensure that it gives you an opportunity to enable you to make money in order to live well. And if these job areas will give you opportunity to live well, then it is an area that you need to look into. Now, when you go to fashion, the tailors we used to have in those days are no longer meeting up the fashions that are coming out these days. Because the kind of dressing and the kind of fashion that are coming out every day, the tailors that we used to know cannot meet up. Every day, new machines are coming out. And this sophistication is increasing. And we know of people that are into fashion today that are making a lot of money. There is one Mr. Moody that we know. It's a national figure. When you mention Moody, everybody in Nigeria knows him as a fashion designer. His designs, one design alone is about 500,000. One of his designs. So he designs for executives, senior men, senior women. So one design alone is 500,000. It's as good as that. I also know a graduate of law in Port Harcourt along Rumola. That lady is a graduate in law, but she is not practicing law. She is into fashion. So she designs for House of Assembly members, she designs for commissioners, she designs for governors. This is another area that graduates should look into. Don't say because I am a graduate and then you carry your certificate and every morning you are on the street looking for jobs. Jobs are no longer there. Acquire skills and bring your certificate knowledge to bear on the skills. If you want to be a tailor or a fashion designer, go and acquire the skills and then come and design for our House of Assembly members, our governors, and then our commissioners, local government chairmen, and charge them. You will live well and you will enjoy life. Another area is the area of industrial plumbing. Filling stations are growing up every day. And most of the people that service their machines are still the quacks we are talking about. People who do not go to school, who who acquire this knowledge through training. They attach themselves to another person and the people train them. And those are the people they are still using to maintain all the filling stations you see. And the level, the sophistication of filling stations today, and the type of pumps that are coming out from the modern technology that we have today, most of these technicians can no longer meet up the demands. If you go to Abuja and you see the type of filling stations and the type of pumping machines that they use, then you will understand what I am talking about. So in all these areas, there are gaps that need to be filled. Another area that graduates should look into is in the area of agriculture. Now maybe I will place one of those videos on the Emakalakala WhatsApp so that you can watch it. There was a particular man who read medicine. He has a degree in medicine. And he decided to keep his certificate and medicine aside and went into poultry. Today, he's a multi-millionaire. And any day, he's talking. He said if he had practiced medicine, he wouldn't have been making the kind of money he's making today. The area of poultry, broiler production, is an area that just 12 weeks, 3 months, they are ready for sales. Now, you may not have all the capital to start big, but when you start small, you will grow. Or you join hands with another person, and then you can start as partnership, work together, and see that you are producing. And over time, you will see that you will be able to send your children to school. You will be able to buy a good car for yourself. You will be able to meet up with the needs of life, even far better than the graduates that are working in government employment. When I was in ADP, I just set up a small poultry at the backyard and we produce. And we put in 1,000 beds there. And then by the time they were matured, we share it, send some to government house, send some to this place. If you raise 1,000 beds, today one better poultry chicken that is solid enough is 15,000-20,000. And imagine if you raise 1,000, that will give you between 10 and 15 million. Where the money is not the office job. The money is in the skills we are talking about. We are talking about making good money. If you service one car and they pay you 500,000,